My name's Amana Dawuda-Wodu and I work for a legal charity which really focuses on strategic litigation in sort of three prime thematic areas, which is disability, security, rule of law and equality. Right. So we take cases against states based on those issues. Very successful organisation, do really fantastic work. Really proud to
Interesting
work with them.
stuff. And so what qualification have you just finished?
I've just finished my chartered CIPD qualifications. I've been really struggling to complete it for quite a few years, but I think that Cullen Scholefield really helped me to focus.
Right.
When you're doing it through, without attending classes, and you have a family, you're very, very busy. I mean, I'm a head of human resource and governance at work, so if you can imagine, on a day-to-day basis, I take my work home as well. I have three young children, and so having people like Carol and I previously worked with Les as well, and Maureen, to really give you that push, and also just the incentive, knowing that if you complete it, you're actually then recognised for being a professional in your field, I think is fantastic. So I'm really happy that was able.
So what's the best bit about the Cullen Scholefield process for you? The best bit about the Cullen Scholefield group, how supporting you, is it tutoring, is it mentoring, is it just being there, or what?
It's the direction, and also having somebody that you can talk to, and also having somebody who can actually push you. I think if you don't get that push, it's very easy to say, well, I'll do this next week, or I'll do this the week after. But when you've got somebody who will actually give you a call, or who'll send you an email and say, look, you've got this amount of time left, or you've got this amount of work left to do, and who actually guides you through the PAC, I think it's really important, because if you're alone doing it, if you're not somebody who procrastinates quite often, then you don't get that push in a sense. So I think Cullen Scholefield gives you a lot of direction.
Is that one of the reasons why you chose them in the first place, or?
They were actually recommended to me, because when I originally did the first part of my PAC through exams, I found it extremely difficult, because it meant that not only did I have to constantly attend workshops, but I also had to then revise for quite difficult exams. So somebody recommended the PAC route in order to get my qualification, and they also said Cullen Scholefield is a really good organisation. They're not so big that you become, a way for them to make money, if you see what I mean. They're small enough to actually give you that one-to-one if you need it. So I was really pleased with that level of support.
So would you recommend this qualification to anybody? What sort of person would you be recommending it to?
I would highly recommend it. I would recommend it to my colleagues. So we have a forum that I set up in 2009 of our HR professionals within the human resource, human rights sector. So a lot of them are not qualified, and they're in the same situation as me previously, where they don't have the time. They're heads of all their directors, and I think to be able to do it in sort of bite-sized pieces and to work through it, if it's over a year or 2 or 3 years, I think is something which they would also like to work towards. So I would definitely encourage them to.
Did you do any of the sort of things like Circle of Peers or any other networking events?
I did. I attended Circle of Peers. I found very, very useful, because I think what happens is that if you are, again, alone doing it, even though you've got Carol or Maureen or whatever tutor to support you, it's difficult if you don't have other people in the profession that you can actually touch base with. So as a result of Circle of Peers, I've kept in contact with a few people who I'm able to contact and speak to and brainstorm. And with the forum that I also set up, it means that I can transfer information, really good best practice professional information across the field. So it's really useful. I think it doesn't make you feel alone, if you see what I mean.
Yes.
So it's really good.
Any other comments for Maureen or Carol or anybody else?
I think that it's really good to try and find a way to assess a candidate's character in a sense that we're all HR professionals in a way, and we very rarely assess ourselves, so our personalities. We always do personality tests on other people when we're going to recruit them and so on and so forth. And I found that having a deadline was really important. So sometimes with the routes like the PAC, because it's so open-ended and it's meant to be that you can do it, which is a good thing over a certain period of time, I found that I was driven when I knew that I had a deadline, that I had this date to finish. And I think that if that could be somehow worked into any sort of PAC type scheme, I think it does focus people to know that they need to do this by such a set deadline. Whereas if I didn't have that, I'm quite sure I would have been...
So PAC's one thing, a timeline and a target is something.
I think it's really important to have a timeline and a target.
Right, okay.
I think for all candidates, irrespective of, I don't know, where they work or how busy they are, if you know that you've got this deadline. The same with work.
Yes.
If I need to produce a management report by the 26th, I produce it by the 26th. But if I had an open-ended date, then I would put it off and, off and off. So I think it would be really good if that could be incorporated.
So procrastinators beware. If you're going to work with Cullen Scholefield, you're going to get it done.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.